Hello, lovely people. Welcome to Das Podcast, the only live podcast based in China. This week, we are coming with you with virtual book tour. This week, we are having special guests who are not just any other people, but special authors who have written their life story, their experiences in a form of book to inspire, guide you in your daily life. Join with us is our special guest, Dogmo. She is an author of one special book which we are coming to discuss today. And she is also currently in China. The title of her book is Drop Your Mask. Let me be the bandage of your injuries. Today, as she has joined us, let us discuss what kind of injuries she is talking about. Which mask is she really talking about? Is it a COVID mask or which kind of mask? Welcome, Dogma. How are you doing? Hello, welcome. How are you doing? Hello, can you hear me? Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dax. Hello, everyone. I'm Vaniresse DONGMO, as just presented me. So I'm pleased to be here today, and we are going to have a nice discussion. I hope it will be helpful for everyone.
Wow. We know you as an author. Apart from being an author, who is Vaniresse Dogma?
I'm actually a PhD student in TCM, which is traditional Chinese medicine, and my major or my specialty is orthopedics
Yes.
in Chinese medicine. So I'm currently doing internship in the Chinese hospital and mainly working on osteoporosis. Aside of that, I'm also a fashion designer and I own a brand that is still in the birth process. So that's me. I will just Skype all other stuff and this me.
Wow. That's so nice. Why is it that? Is it because you're a doctor? That is why you wrote something titled Drop That Mask?
Actually, it does not really has to do with the real mask, like the physical face mask. It's
Yeah.
more about something else that can become physical, but we are not
Yes.
talking here about something material.
Wow. Interesting. The title is Drop Your Mask. Let me be the bandage of your injuries. Who are we referring to? Or what really inspired you to have that title?
Uh, Going through my life, because before this book came out, it was a process that I was already following. It was not
Yeah.
meant to become a book because it was not in the plan. But actually, I've looked into my own life, my own experience, and talking with people, observing people, reading, watching, and that's how it comes that I have to write something that I can share so that more people can experience what I've experienced going through my own process of healing, if I could call it like this. Because
Yes.
when I realized I was becoming somebody else, I was getting to understand more of my own self.
Yes.
And I watch people. I was like, no, they need to know this. They need to know this. And then they will choose what they will do with it. But at least I have to share. And that's how I decided to write.
Wow, that's so nice. I'm so happy that you decided to share something you have experienced, you have been going through. Instead of keeping it to yourself, you are willing to share it to others in a form of book. And I must really applaud you for having that mindset. Apart from sharing in the book, what made you decide to publish it as a book?
Uh, because usually as a student, so except from my family and friends with who I
Yeah.
can discuss and get to understand what they're going through, get to maybe give them some advice. Other people, I will never get to them because I'm on my own. I'm in my own life doing my own things. But
Yes.
writing a book and publishing a book is a way to bring what I have to share to the whole world
Yeah.
without them even knowing me personally. They can still get what I'm sharing and benefits from it.
That is so smart. Really, yeah. Through book, you can connect so many people in the world. You can guide so many people in the world. That is so smart. To our viewers who are watching live, we are with our special guest, Vaniresse DONGMO. She is an author of the book Drop That Marks. Let me be the bandage of your injuries. And today we are with her and we are discussing what even brought about that book. And I'm sure by the end of this podcast, you will be healed from all your injuries. So, is
I hope
this
so.
your first book? Is this your first book?
Yeah,
Is
this
this
has been my first book, my first published book.
interesting? I've realized that so many people who start publishing their first book, they go through several challenges. How long did it take you to write this book?
From the beginning of writing, because since you are writing from life experience, it means it's something that has taken longer than you can imagine. But
Yeah.
just the writing until the publishing, it has taken about 1 year. About
Hmm.
1 year, and I published in June 2022.
That's nice. That is a very short time because yesterday I had one author. He took 9 years to write that book, and you were
Yeah,
able
that
to
can
finish
happen.
that in 1 year. That's so smart. So, in fact, the title of your book is "Drop That Marks." Let me be the bandage of your injuries. What do you expect readers to get from that book? What is your main hope or aim that readers should get from that book?
As the title said, drop your mask. It's like a call. It seems so much like an order, but at the same time, it's not. It's much more of a call, calling you to drop that mask. And what is that mask I'm talking about? Is the one that you wear because you went through something that brought you pain, frustration, anger, and
Yeah.
since you cannot relieve all those emotions, now you are holding them. And in order not to bring more of that, not to experience the same thing, you are covering
Yes.
yourself under some kind of mask. that actually are not helpful. It may be trying to protect you for some time, but at the end,
Yeah.
it may hurt you even more because you can get your body sick just because of your behavior, your thought. And what you have to do is acknowledge your story. Acknowledge that, yes, I've been through this. I accept it. So the word here is acceptation. You have to accept your own self with what you have been through, no matter what it is. Maybe your parents didn't want to have you when you were still a baby.
Yes.
Maybe you were raped. Maybe you didn't have enough money to go to school. Maybe a lot of things.
Yes.
But that happened already. So what you have to do now is accept and then choose to love yourself with that. Only then you will be able to see better sides of yourself, the lighter part of yourself, and improve it and show it to the world and live gracefully, even with the past story you have. No matter what time those dark experience or those painful experiences happen in your life, you have now to accept them, because most of the time we are fighting, but we are not really fighting situations. The fight is against ourselves because we are not able to just admit it right now.
Yeah.
Someone cheated on me, but they already cheated. Someone rejected me, they already did. So what problem do I have now? Is no more the cheating. Is about the fact that I cannot accept it.
Okay.
My parents, maybe they abandoned me. They did already. Maybe they're still alive. Maybe they're not. It's really painful. It's hard. I'm not saying that it's so easy the same way as I'm talking,
Yeah.
but you have to go deeper inside of yourself to find the strength to accept, to admit it like that, to even understand the why, because there's a spiritual reason for everything, the things that we see and the things that we don't see. So maybe, and always there's a reason. I'm saying maybe, but actually there's always a reason. It
Yeah.
may be of big importance or not, but there's always a reason. And finding the reasons that made you go through this or that can bring you a better understanding and show you the way to get out of it, or to make a better advantage of it. So to
Wow.
make it short, I would say I hope that my readers, they
Yes.
just get to rediscover themselves.
Yeah.
Not, I will not say turn the page, but accept that this page exists, but it no longer serve me, or it's not as important as I think. I am the most important here in this story. I am the most important because without me, there's no story. So I am the most important in this my story, and I choose for now the acceptance, the love, and the good part or the dark part of me is still me. So I will use it and rise. So that's what I hope my
Wow.
readers from the book.
Interesting. We have your little teacher TV is watching live, and he or she is saying true words. It happened already. To our viewers who are watching live, thank you very much for staying tuned. We are with our author, Vaniresse DONGMO. She is the author of the book titled Drop That Mask. let me be the bandage of your injuries. And in fact, this is something interesting I'm already enjoying. To those who will be watching pre-recorded, yes, stay tuned. And if you have any question, you can comment in the comment section. Your book talk about drop that mask. Do you think everybody in the world is having some mask?
Uh, I will not be in the absolute saying everybody, because
Yeah.
there are people who have already overcome a lot of things and they are no more on the level that they need to go through certain things.
Yeah.
Because what we are going through have reasons, as I said, and those reasons may help you understand more, because you have to learn something to upgrade. And if you are in the first grade, you can complain as much as you want. You are not yet ready for the 10th grade or for the 5th grade. So I will not say everybody has a mask, but many people are wearing masks. And as I said, here we are not talking about physical mask or those kind of thing that are like hiding the other side of you from people,
Yes.
like pretending is also a part of it, but here I'm not just talking about pretending, it's about something deeper. Yeah,
Wow.
because sometimes you have to pretend in order to get what you want in life, or
Yes.
according to the situation you're in, or according to the place you find yourself in. So yeah.
That's so nice. In fact, when I was going through your book, I read some parts, some injuries. You mentioned several injuries, and I'd like us to talk about the injury of rejection. Rejection.
Okay.
In fact, I have been rejected before. If you have never been rejected, you will never feel what she's trying to say. But rejection is so hard. I have been rejected so many times from interviews, from how wanting a girlfriend, what in so many ways. And it has been so hard. It took me a long time for me to accept that I've been rejected. I've been rejected from this school. I've been rejected from this work. It's not easy. It's so hard. Sometimes it takes a long time for us to accept that we are being rejected. What do you have to say to anybody in a point of rejection at this point? Sometimes people commit suicide because they are rejected. We hear so many times people even commit suicide for being rejected. So at this point, what is the bandage for anybody?
As I previously said, the first thing, not easy, you just mentioned it, is to accept it. That, okay, this person or these people, they don't want me. But it's okay. And how to go through that, it depends on the levels,
Yes,
because the basic level is the level of a kid, a child that was rejected by his parent. There are some kids
yes,
before even being born, they are already rejected by their mother,
yes.
because the mother didn't want to be pregnant. She didn't want a baby at that time.
Mm,
Or she got pregnant and discovered it just by the time she's about to give birth, or after 3 months, or after 6 months.
yes,
And she does not want this baby. But the child is just a child. He can still feel it. And that's why some people will go through life not knowing what is really going on. They don't really have something to say. They don't really have a trauma that they can explain to someone, saying that
yes,
I've been rejected this way and that's why I'm feeling rejected. They have the feeling of rejection inside, but they don't have a real lifetime story that they can rely on, except if their
yeah,
parents tell them, or someone tell them what happened before they were born or when they were still a really newborn.
Yes.
And I had a guy who had a story like this, because
Yeah.
after reading my book, he called me and he was explaining how he has been feeling his whole life. He's more than
Hmm.
20, not 30, but more than 20 today. And he has been feeling rejected. Like, in his family, he's not the first kid, he's not the last one also. But
Yes.
by the time he was born, the dad didn't want another kid at that moment. So the dad was about saying that the mom
She
should
abort him.
do about, yeah, but she refused to do it. So among his brothers and sisters, he always feel like, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
And we human, we need a sense of belonging. So when
Yeah.
you feel like you don't belong somewhere, it's hard, actually. It's really hard. But you have to go deeper inside, because who you are actually is not defined by the surroundings. If the universe, I don't mind if you trust any god or whatever, but if just this life
Yes.
consent that you could be here, that you will be born, you stay alive until now, it
Yes.
means you are worth it enough. And there are a lot of things that you are able to do, and above it, you are even here for something. So you should go inside and find that something, and it may takes time, years. Time here, I'm not talking about 1 week, like meditating for 1 week and then
Yeah.
I found it. No, it can take years to find your answers, because
Yeah.
when it's really something important, it can even take a lifetime to really discover why you came here. There are people of 50, 60 that discover their why really later in life. So after acknowledging that, recognizing that I've been rejected, or I am being rejected by this person or these people
Yes.
right now, is the first thing. Because some people, they won't admit it. They don't even see that this is rejection. So they keep
They don't know.
fighting. Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah.
They think maybe I've done something wrong. Maybe I've not, I didn't do it the right way. I have to try again.
Yes.
They just don't want to admit that, no, they, according to them, you don't belong here.
Yes.
So after recognizing, depending on the level, that's why I went to the small kid. According to the level, you may need to go through different process. Maybe you
Yes.
need to talk to someone. Maybe you need to even discuss with your parents. Like
Yeah.
the guy that I got, who had to discuss with his parents and sisters, and they told him the
Yeah.
truth. That's how he knew. Because if not, he will never know. He would think maybe he has a problem, a personal
Problem.
conflict with God, like, or with
Yes.
his creator. He doesn't know why he's here. He's lost. But he had to go through this conversation with his family. And fortunately, they told him the truth, and they assure him that they are here with him and for him. That
Yeah.
was what was supposed to happen. That was what happened at that time. But it's no more what we are going through now.
Yeah. Wow. In
So
fact, before I
that
even,
that
yeah,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt, because when I was reading this book, I was like, wow, this is something I can really relate. There's a popular Ghanaian movie actor. I don't know if you know her, Yvonne. Yvonne Nelson, she's in Ghana.
Yeah.
She's very popular. She never saw her dad. Asana, she never saw her dad. And her mom never want to show her who her biological dad is. And she has been fighting for this. She always feel very bad, always hard on herself about this issue. So when I was reading the book, I was like, wow, this is really very true. Even a child who has been abandoned even before birth feels rejected when born, doesn't feel belonging to even a society. That is really
Of
true.
course.
Yeah, Mr. Sepo is watching live. He said, I know of someone whose mom even kept the secret about his dad until she passed on. How long do they take to heal? Wow, this is really a powerful question, and I can really relate in so many ways. And Yvonne Nelson, she's very popular. She recently wrote a book about that, and she's still pushing her mom. Her mom is alive. She still wants to know her dad. This is
Mm.
something really, really um something we are really facing in society about rejection. Mr. Sepo has asked, how long do they take to heal? I want to also ask the same question. I personally have been rejected, and it took me several years for me to heal out of that. How long must it take for somebody to heal in this point?
Actually, this is a good question, but I think I mentioned it.
Yeah,
There is no settled time. And as important, like being rejected by just a girl,
yeah,
let's say a girl that you appreciate, you are not even yet in a relationship, so you cannot say that you are in love, that you, no, you just appreciate her so much, you would like to get to know her better or whatever,
yes,
cannot be the same as being rejected by your dad or your mom or your classmates or your colleagues. It cannot
yes,
be the same. So there are levels, and each level has, it will take different time also for the healing,
yes,
because you have to learn something in that process. You're looking for your dad, you're looking for your mom, or you want to, you're living with your mom and dad. Like the guy I had is living with his dad and mom, but is
yeah,
having that feeling, was
yeah,
having, let's say, was having that feeling. So you see, it doesn't really matter. And when we talk, he was already 20. So imagine
yeah,
20 years. Except his parents are having a really kind attitude towards him, really showing him unconditional love.
yeah.
That's how he will get to heal slowly, slowly, and also using his own ability, because not everyone has the same ability. Some people may take 2 years, 3 years. I cannot say 1 year, because 1 year is too short.
Yeah,
You cannot go through something for 10 years, for 15 years, for 20 years, for 30 years, and you just heal like in 2 months. So
yeah,
it depends on how important that is. Of course, different people will have different process. We take
yeah.
different period of time, but there is no settled period of time. You just have to follow your own path.
Wow, that's really true. Definitely, we don't have a settled time for that. I am taking my personal life. When I was rejected, I feel like there are several reasons that prolonged my healing. One, I felt
Mm.
like I was not perfect. I was asking myself these questions. Am I not perfect? Am I not the best guy? Like, During this period, rejection makes you, from my personal experience, it made me feel like I was not enough.
Is it my connection or yours? I don't know. How are we doing this?
Hello. Yeah,
Okay,
sorry
it's
for the
back.
interruption. Yeah. So during those days, I really felt that I was really not enough. What are some of the advice you give to people who are at the point that they feel rejected? They feel they are not enough. They feel they are not good enough. They feel like they don't deserve the world. During this time, so many people commit suicide. And as you said, we need to get someone to talk to. What are the advice you give to people feeling they are not enough during this period?
For those people who are facing rejection or who have faced it and are still not, they have not overcome it yet,
Yeah.
after recognizing it, what they have to do is talk. I was saying that before you interrupt me. They have to
Yeah.
talk, if possible, to the people in terms of family, friends who are related to that. But in the case
Yes.
that they cannot talk, they cannot reach to those people, or there is no way, they still need to find someone they can talk to. They can join associations where
Yeah.
there are some kind of supports. They can join some groups where there are some kind of supports, where they can share what they have, or they just share their story and be listened to, because sometimes what people need is just to be listened to. The fact that
Yes.
they're talking and someone is just passing by, or someone is watching their phone or whatever, it makes them feel like, oh, nobody is listening to me.
Yes.
Even at work, when
Yeah.
we are having meetings, nobody is really paying attention to my ideas.
Yeah.
So yeah, they need to find a place where they can be listened to, where they
Yeah.
can just express themselves using words and be listened to. And then on the side of not feeling good enough, they have to look
Yeah.
at what they have done that is good, that they were appreciated for. Maybe
Yeah.
today I'm rejected here, but yesterday I did something that was still appreciable, and someone appreciated. So
Yeah.
instead of standing here on what is not being accepted by somebody else, I can still rely on what is also accepted by other people.
Yeah.
or on a different domain. After that, you can also have new objectives for yourself that will help you improve yourself, because when you are improving, you will definitely start feeling better. But if you stay on the same point, you're doing the same job, you're having the same hobbies, or you're not having any hobby, you're just at home, of course you will feel lower. So you need to find new things. It doesn't mean that you're taking the healing outside, from the outside,
Yeah.
but it's important. Since you're feeling rejected, it means it has to do with the outside as well as with your inner world. So at the same time, you are learning to accept yourself, to love yourself more. You have to do things that shows you that you are worth that love you're trying to give yourself. And that's the way people will get to start to notice you,
Yeah.
appreciate you, and that's how you will start feeling better and accepted. But the
Mm.
feeling of rejection, it will only be your personal decision to
Yes.
accept that you are enough. If you say you are enough, you are enough. Nobody else, there's only one you, and nobody else can say like the opposite. You're the only one who can say, I'm worth this, I'm worth living, and the universe is agree with me. Why?
Yeah.
I'm here. Because if the universe was not agree, there are people who are willing so much to live just one more week, one more day, one more month, one more year, but they can't. Their
Mm.
parents who wanted a kid so much, so hardly, for 10 years, for 20 years, they have not got one. But you are here. So if
Yeah.
those people, I don't know, people, I'm calling them people, those parents
Yeah.
who are, I'll call them people, they got they got you, but they didn't want you, then it's their problem.
Yeah.
If
Not
at this point
yours.
they still don't want you, it's their problem, it's no more yours.
Yeah.
Because the universe, the greatest thing that could accept or refuse your coming in this world, has accepted you. You are admitted. So
Mm.
you got your admission here. So
Wow.
acknowledge it, and be proud of it, and go out there, meet people, choose, choose. Of course, you will not say, okay, because this girl rejected me, I will talk to all the girls I meet on the way. No,
Yeah.
you will get slapped. They will slap you. They will not just run away from you. They will maybe slap you. And there are people who get to that point where their mind can no longer process well, and they think they have to grab people, they have to do everything, and they have
Anything.
to
Yes.
force. Yeah, because they can no longer handle the pain of rejection. So they're doing doing everything possible by their own means. So you have to
Wow.
calm down, recognize it, accept it, even if it's hard, then have new objectives. What does it really mean for me? What is it that I really need, like really need?
Yeah.
Then start having new objectives. If you need to learn something, you learn new skills, you learn new stuff, and you will find yourself becoming better at something, or even good at something. And definitely you will be appreciated for that. Someone will look
Wow.
for you just for that. And that's
In
something.
fact, I wish I had this your book earlier, long time when I was rejected. I think if I had your book and I had this explanation, I would have healed within a short time. Your book is a healing to so many people in a form of rejection. I personally, when I was rejected at that period, one thing that really helped me was to talk to someone about it. I was keeping it to myself as a man, and I didn't want to talk it out. I didn't want to say, oh, this lady rejected me. My friends will even laugh at me, my guys. But when I had somebody to talk to, that is where I started healing. And I can really relate. And that's true. If you're in that point, just get someone who will listen to you.
Yeah.
Even if the person will not get solution, it have very great effect, and I can really relate. We have Fat Crack. He's watching live. He said hello. Thank you, Fat Crack, for watching live today. And Fat Crack is saying that I wish I could feel love. You are already
You are
loved from what
loved.
she has
You
explained.
are loved.
Yeah.
You are. I believe we here love you, and I'm pretty sure the universe love you. Or if you trust
Yeah.
in any god or any force, I'm sure they love you. That's why you're here. If not, you won't.
Yeah. Fat Crack, we love you. That is why you are here. If nobody loves you, remember Dax love you, Dogmo love you, we love you. So
And
don't
love
ever take
yourself
it
more.
another.
You will get it. You will get people around you loving you more than you can ever imagine. Get to love yourself more. Do things that show love to yourself.
Wow. That's so powerful and interesting. Fakrak is say, I'll always listen to you, Dax. Thank you very much for being one of our favorite audience, for always staying tuned. Jennifer is also watching live. She said, we must choose to reframe rejection, seeing it as something good, using it to empower ourselves. In fact, this is really powerful that Jennifer has shared. I started gymming after I was rejected. And when I started working out, now within a short time, anybody sees me, oh, Dax, you have 9 muscles. Like, people began to appreciate the new me. Through that rejection, I was able to learn new skills, as you mentioned. Through that, I learned so many things. And from that, I always say rejection is a direction. If you are rejected, it means it's directing you to somewhere. And I love that you have this in your book to help so many people. Every day, we hear people committing suicide because they have been rejected. And I'm happy your book is there to help so many people. To our viewers who are watching live, we are with our guest who is saying that her book is titled Drop That Marks. Let me be the bandage of your injuries. And today we are discussing some of the things she said. Mr. Sepo said, Dax, you are too funny. I'm sharing my real story. He said, yeah, I'm funny. I started working out, and that has really changed my life. In fact, you mentioned several injuries. I want us to talk about injuries I have personally experienced before, something I can really relate. In your book, you mentioned another injury, which is betrayal. Someone betraying you. Wow. My first betrayal was when I was in high school. My best friend stole my school fees. He stole my school fees. The school fees I'm supposed to pay. My best friend stole the school fees, and at the end, he was helping me to search for the money, search for the person who stole it. So when later on, when we found out that he was the one who stole the money, I was weak. I was broken. I couldn't do anything. Like, I felt I was betrayed. That feeling, like, I was just weak. I couldn't do anything. Betrayal has murdered so many people in this modern world, in businesses, in society, in relationships, in so many ways that we can think of. People have been betrayed. And I'm glad you have this in your book. That is why I said your book is healing to so many people. Anybody who get this book will have healing in any part of injury they are having. What do you have to tell anybody in that point of betrayal, being betrayed?
Most of the time when we are betrayed, the first thing to do is to say, I would never trust anyone again. That's one of my masters told me recently, we pay for for neglecting certain things. But
Yeah,
I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later because a little child, if his dad or his mom or his cousins or whoever
yeah,
can also betray them in a certain way, because his dad
yeah,
will always say, I'll be back, I will go for holidays with you, but
yeah,
never he will be there. There's nothing
yeah,
the kid could do. The kid
mm,
couldn't test the trust of the father before. He couldn't test. But just from that little child becomes somebody who doesn't trust, because whatever people are saying, they always lying.
yeah,
So that most of the time, that's where it starts. From the family, I cannot trust people
yeah,
around me. I cannot trust my own parents. I cannot trust adults.
yeah.
You first start on the point of I cannot trust adult until you become one, and you realize that it's even worse between them. First, you think that it's only adults and children, that maybe
Yeah,
adults are being wicked to children,
yeah,
until you become adult and you realize that it's even worse between adult and adult. And the thing to face that is, first recognize that you cannot control others. You cannot control what others are going to do, what they
yeah,
can do. The only person you can control is yourself.
yeah,
Your thought, your actions, and everything that concerns only you. You are the only one who can control that. But everything else about other people, you really has nothing to do with you in the first place. You
yeah,
may face consequences from the act, but in the beginning, let's say, let's call your classmate or your friend, high school friend, a thief.
yes,
Let's call him like that. He was a thief. That had nothing to do with you. He was, not you. So he was what he was at that time, which had
yeah,
nothing to do with you. So, and you couldn't know, you couldn't control it. And the pain you feel, like, I trusted him.
yeah,
Why? I trusted him, but why?
yeah.
The why is always hard to find, because the why only the other person knows, and sometimes they don't even know the why themselves, the why they have done what they did. So
Oh,
looking for the why is not the best place to find to look for.
wow. I'm writing that
Here we are.
down. Looking for the why. Wow.
Yeah, here we are talking to adults, not to kids, because
Yeah,
a 8-year-old or 3-year-old who is at home with mom who said she will be back at 8, it's already 10 and she's not back.
yeah,
That's how the baby will start not trusting, because when the mom will be back, you always lie, you will never hear on time. You cannot really
yeah.
talk to that kid now. What we are doing here is not really for that kid. Maybe they will need
Oh,
another process, but it's not what we are talking here. Here we are talking to adults. So the first thing, you cannot control others. You have no control over what others are thinking, what they are doing, or what they may do.
yeah,
Secondly, it's always advisable to test trust.
Test trust.
Test trust. Because one of
Okay.
my masters told me, I have lots of money in some business, and I was talking with him, and he said, no, 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 you shouldn't talk about that money. You are paying for being being neglecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what you have paid, the money you have, it's not a loss. So even if they give you the money back, you shouldn't take it, because just admit that you have paid to learn the lesson.
Wait, wait,
Yeah,
wait,
it
wait,
doesn't
wait.
mean yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Mr. Sepo is saying that I was betrayed by a forest broker and I don't think I know how to recover. He took so much money from me. Now I don't trust anyone online. In fact, before we even talk about Mr. Sepo's own, when my first time, when that my friend betrayed me, stole my school fees, since that time, I always have trust issues. So I'm happy you even mentioned trust. I have trust issues so much. Anytime I'm dealing with anything, I have trust issues. And you are saying we paid for neglecting. How did we neglect? We knew this person to be genuine. How did we neglect?
Who told you? Assuming, we
Okay.
are assuming that since this is my friend, I am his friend. I cannot
Yeah.
steal his stuff. I can never take his stuff that without asking him, or something that I will never do anything to hurt him willingly.
Yeah.
So I assume that he also will never do something to hurt me.
Oh.
How can you assume that? He is not you. He is not you. And even no matter how long you have been together, they are
Yeah.
still, that's why you should keep that the space for the you never know.
Okay.
Be able to overcome whatever. Maybe it may also be too much. It may also be like really heavy.
Yeah.
But in everything you involve with other people, you should know that you should only count on yourself. Counting on yourself doesn't mean never asking for help, never looking for others for anything. No, it means I'm taking responsibility for all that I'm doing, all that I'm saying, all that I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm also taking responsibility for all that I am doing with you.
Mhm.
Like, let's say someone say, okay, you are at home, you're cooking, you're eating, you're making your own meal.
Yeah.
If you make it, I don't know, you're eating something not good for yourself, and you end up having indigestion,
Yeah.
you're taking the whole responsibility of that. Now, you and your friend, you decide to go to the restaurant. Whatever may happen there, let's say your friend had the problem like indigestion, and you're still there.
Yeah.
Are you not taking the responsibility of being there with him? You are. You are taking the responsibility, because if you were at home, you will be taking the responsibility of what you are doing. But everything that you get involved with other people, there is part of responsibility that is yours. Even if you don't want, it will be yours. Or okay, you go to a restaurant, and your friend maybe steal something. Hmm?
Yeah.
They don't know who took it. They just know there were two guys there, so they have to be taken to the police station. You are
Yeah.
taken to the police station because why? Because you were there with him. Just the fact of being there with him, you're already taking the one part of the responsibility until they check everything and discover that, okay, it was not actually you, blah, blah, blah. You are taking the responsibility because you were with him. So in every relationship, you have one part of the responsibility of what is happening between you. And that's why sometimes they will say, don't show me your friends, I will tell you who you are.
Yeah.
Or show me your friends or who you're working with, I will tell you where you will end up. Because no matter how you think you're good, if you have a friend who is, uh, let's say, who is doing something illegal, there are great chances that one day you get in trouble because of what they are doing.
Yeah.
You may end up in the prison without never touching any drugs or anything illegal, but you are in the prison. You can call it
Yeah.
betrayal. But actually, just the fact of being in that relationship was enough for you to take that responsibility.
Response.
So yeah, you have to acknowledge that you can have the control only over yourself. You don't have control over what others are doing. Whatever I'm doing with others, I should know that even if I was not the one implementing this action,
Yeah.
I still have a part responsibility of it because I'm involved with them. And
Mm.
whatever they do, I must be able to handle myself. I'm getting married with this person. I don't know if they will love me forever. Okay, love me or respect me or whatever. I don't know if they will keep their commitment
Yeah.
towards me forever. But
Yes.
if it happens that they change their mind, they change their attitude, how am I going to behave? Am I going to
Hmm.
be able to handle myself? It's about handling yourself, control, knowing that you can control yourself, but not becoming somebody who is trying to control everyone else because you can't. And that's the trap in the betrayal. First, you get in the trust issue, you don't
Yeah.
trust anyone, and you try to control everything.
Yeah.
Try to control everything and everyone that gets around you. You're just wasting time, energy, and sometimes money, which you don't need to. And you can even get some disease from that, from being too much hard to your own self and to others. And people can even run away from you
Yeah.
because you're trying to control them, and no one would like to be controlled. So, as I said, you also need to do a trust test. A trust test, personally, it's personal. You should have a scale
Yeah.
in which you know this person, before I can do this kind of thing, this person has to show me this, not just once,
Yeah.
at least 3 times, that they are able of this, of this, that we are able to do this kind of stuff together, this kind, before you keep letting them to the next, to the next, even if
Yeah.
they get angry. They shouldn't, I think they shouldn't get angry if they also understand what I'm saying in their own life, because if they want something good with you, something that will last with you,
Yeah.
they should also be doing the same to you. And you should not
Hmm.
feel hurt. You should not feel hurt if somebody is testing you. And
Yeah.
and the test here doesn't mean uh trapping someone. It's just keeping some kind of limit until they show that, yeah, they're allowed to cross. Then you let them cross, and then the next. Not just embracing everyone in every way at the first sight. You just meet someone and now you're doing business. How? How? And sometimes
Well,
with this thing of trust, you should also listen to your inner word, because most of the time there's something inside of you that will talk also that no, don't go this way, or no, don't do this thing with this person. But most of the
yeah.
time we don't listen. We have not been taught to.
Wow. Before I allow you to even continue, Fat Crack is saying, I feel more loved now. Yeah, I'm happy you feel loved. We love you so
Right?
much, Fat Crack. And yeah, I have so many questions about this betrayal, and I can't believe it's already 1 hour, and we've not even talked about much. Like with this betrayal issue, you said
Mhm.
we should do some check. Doing some check is more of because we don't trust, right? It's because we don't trust. And from what you have said, can we conclude that no matter what the relationship is, never have 100% trust? Can we conclude that way?
We are liars. We are liars. Why? Because those who are already in your life, like
Yes.
your parents, you have seen them. You have seen the way they are handling the money. You have seen the way they are handling maybe the house or any event.
Yeah.
Now you decide to think that one day, because it's you, they're going to change that just like that, just because it's you. Are you not a liar? Like many people will be like, oh, I try to do business with my family and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
First, how were they handling the money they had before you even have this idea of doing business? Were you seeing them or no? Were you or no? You were seeing them not being able to handle what they are having day to day. And now you think just because it's you, everything is going to change, their mind will change. How is that possible?
Oh.
So for those people who are already in your life, they have been telling you, they have been showing you who they are. You just decide
Ooh,
that
to
no, for
ignore.
me, they will act differently. For me, they will be different because I
Yeah.
want them to be different. I want this
Yeah.
situation to work my way. So I think. But
Hmm.
for those people you just meet, it's all normal. It's not that you will go to them and say, I'm doing you a test and you should
Yeah.
pass this level before I can admit you to the next.
Yeah.
For those people you just meet, you s- you also have just to watch them, listen to them, because personally, I've realized that people will always, at least 90% of the time, tell you
Yeah.
the truth about themselves, but you don't listen, you don't trust.
Oh.
Like even a girl you are dating or a guy you are dating or who is asking you to date them or blah blah blah, they will
Yes.
tell you a lot of things. And then you end up saying, oh, I didn't know you were like this. I thought you were like that. They told you everything. They
Hmm.
told you, even with just one word, they told you. But you were not able to listen, or you decided not to believe that. And also, you went too fast. And do you agree with me that things that are serious, things that are great, things that are meant to be great
Yes.
or meant to go far, most of the
Takes
time
time.
take time. Okay, why your business should just go like this from today to tomorrow to someone you met just 1 week ago and you're taking all your savings to give to them? What does your savings means to you? What does it mean to you? How long, how much pain did you face to have to gain that money and then to save? And now, because someone is talking, I don't know what they're saying, you take
Yeah.
it, you give to them, you say it was business and I got scammed. Which test did you went through? So there
Wow.
are a lot of
In
things
fact,
like
yeah, I have so many questions in mind now. With the point of betrayal, is really true in so many instances. People tell you who they really are, but we ignore them. And when I was reading your book, I grouped them into conscious and unconscious betrayal. I like the part where you mentioned betrayal when we are young, even from our parents. They tell you they'll buy you this, but they don't do. Unconsciously, we start building that mistrust from that. And I love that part. I feel like we mostly ignore that. I never thought about that aspect of betrayal. And now you mentioned about maybe starting business with our families. There are so many people who get disappointed. Maybe they are abroad, they give money to their brother to build a house, they go back, nothing. And the example you gave me is really true. We see our siblings, how they behave, and they tell us who they really are. But we just trust them because, oh, he's my brother, so he have to. He have to.
I like drinking. I like drinking alcohol every day with all money I have.
Yeah.
Because it's your money, I wouldn't drink alcohol. Why? It's still just money. It's not because it's your money, it's still just money, and I still love alcohol, so I would drink alcohol. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm your sibling or whatever. I don't have a house, and you want me to go and buy a land for you and build a house. I've never done that in my life. I don't even have like a proper job, and
Yeah.
I'm the one to build a house for you now.
Hmm.
So most of the time we do things that does not really make sense. And also we are afraid that if I don't go to my family to do this for me back home,
Yeah.
it will be like I'm running away from them since I'm having money. Okay, here we are talking
Yeah.
about money. Since I'm having money now, I'm running away from them. I'm feeling arrogant or whatever.
Yes.
But you are the one to know what this means to you. If they want to be involved in that new level you are taking,
Yeah.
they should prove it. They should prove it. And you can start by little and see how it goes. By little and see how it goes. As we said,
Wow.
growth things take time. Even a good relationship that you before you know, okay, I can really go further with this girl or with this man. Is
Yes.
not sometimes like there are exceptions. From the first
Yes.
day, you know, okay, this is the one, as people say, this is the one.
Yeah.
But that happened how many times? Of 100, they're not 20, they're not 10%.
Yeah.
So we should take time.
This is really, really interesting because I want to start some business back home, and I always want my brother to do that business. He's not really interested, but I'm still forcing to convince him. I'm still, so now you are making me think, because he's not really
Look what you
interested.
want.
Wow, guys, those who are watching live, in fact, this is one of the best books I would like to recommend for everyone. This is really indeed one of the best books I've ever read, because this will be a healing to so many people. And I know in every point in our lives, we have people who have been betrayed, rejected, and she has mentioned so many injuries, so many things people have been facing in life. And if you read this book, I know it will really help you heal, drop that mask indeed. And in fact, you chose the best title, like the title for the book. We are living with so many marks and we have to drop them. I can't believe it's already time. And before we even go, I still have some questions. How were you able to come up with this book? Like, how were you able to identify these injuries? You mentioned so many injuries, and I realized there are things I have faced them before, and I know there are so many people who are also facing that. How were you able to identify this? Were you going through the same issues personally? How?
And there are some of those injuries that I faced myself,
Yeah.
and I went through them without really putting a name,
Okay.
because just this is a kind of confidence, not confidence. Actually, before I wrote my book,
Yeah.
it took me like 7 years to be the person I was at that time. Because now I'm also somebody else. Like 2 years ago, I'm not really the same person I was 2 years ago when I published my book. But it
Yeah.
took me 7 years to be where I was when I wrote the book. I was doing that process without putting words on, like these same words, like rejection, betrayal, or uh, with the betrayal, you become a controller. So you're trying to
Yeah.
control everything. So I was not really
It's
putting
true.
all those words, those same words, but I was going through the process I'm sharing here now.
Yeah.
And also, I've listened to a lot of people, because I've had I had one friend who was at that time already 31, and
Yes.
he shared it has nothing to do with the book. We were not even talking about me writing a book one day, but he shared his story with me,
Yeah.
that most of the time he feel like abandoned and kind of bad towards his parents, because he had a junior brother who,
Yes.
when he was born, he started feeling like his parents are not loving him the same way they used to. He
As
was not the first
yeah.
kid, but he thought he was the last kid at that time, until the parent bring another brought another son, and he
Child.
felt like
Yeah.
all the love, or everything just went from him to the younger brother. And he's 30, but he's still there. Something that
Yeah.
happened maybe 30 years ago, he's still there. So talking with these kind of people, that's how I really got to decide that no, I have to put this out. And I have to relate, because after readings, I like reading. So I was reading in all the matters, because I love
Yeah.
like psychology, uh, quantic physics, or spirituality. Like I'm always searching something there. And I
Yeah.
found a precise one book who the author was also talking about this,
Yeah.
but in a way that not everyone could be able to relate to. So that's how I decided to take family story to explain, kind of explain, because there are many different ways that people can get to feel the same injuries or wear the same mask. So I wrote a family story to better explain it.
Yeah. In fact, when I started reading the book, I didn't really understand. Like, I didn't really understand what you wanted to mean. But later on,
Mhm.
that, that later on, then I really understood. I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And I'm so happy you mentioned so many factors we ignore. When we talk about rejection, betrayal, we always think about when we are matured and people betraying us, but actually they start from childhood unconsciously. Wow. Have have you ever studied psychology, or have you ever thought of becoming a psychologist?
Going to medical school, we actually have like psychology classes.
Yeah.
But the path I've chosen is already set, and I've went like I already doing a PhD. So if I'm to change, then it will be a big
Yeah.
decision to take again. But I really
Yeah.
love it. I enjoy it. So I always doing research, always watching what I have to watch, always following even some psychologists, and I have my own masters. I have my own how to say, people I talk to also when I have my own issues.
Yes.
So, and I think really important because most of the time people are running away from these kind of things. They think it means you're weak, it means there's something wrong with your mental
You are not
health,
enough.
that makes you
Yeah.
crazy. They don't take it as something normal, something that you're supposed to release. They
Yeah.
think like, and that's why some will get ashamed and will never talk about what they're going through.
Mm.
So
In fact,
becoming a psychologist is something I will see with the years. I think I'm still young enough, so I will have time to settle
in
down.
fact, after reading your book, if I had the power, I will certify you as a psychologist, because I realized that there are so many things you mentioned. I felt like they are not emotions that you went through all of them yourself. This is like studying human life, studying what people are really going through. And that is really true. And I could relate to so many of them. In fact, I
I'm
can't
glad.
wait for your second book. What do you have any book in mind, or any upcoming book? And what would that book be about?
Yes, I have upcoming book. I will not talk about the title for now because
Yeah,
that title,
sure.
I'm still fighting. I'm still fighting to decide if yes or no that title, because I had the
Yeah.
title already from the beginning. So yeah, there's something coming.
Wow. Interesting.
Fortunately, it will be released by the end of 2024. I hope so.
Wow. That's so inspiring. What is one thing you wish you knew before writing this book?
In which way?
In every aspect, just one. That one reason that you wish you knew before writing this book.
Well, I wish I knew before writing this book. I've not really been thinking about this because this th- I would like already from what I've learned also now. I can
Yeah.
already make a second edition of the book. Like there's
Okay.
also a lot of things that I would like to add to the book,
Yeah.
but I think that book is just what it is. That book is just what it is. It's okay for me. It's okay like that, and what I'm learning now will be something else. Yeah.
Interesting. That's so good to hear. I know, yeah, there are so many things people are going through. And if you add it, or if you have it as a future book, separate book, it will go a long way to impact lives, help people when they are going through these challenges. In fact, I must really applaud you for this wonderful work, and for bringing this out to help so many people drop their marks. And I really love that title. Drop drop that marks.
Okay.
Let me be an a bandage to your injuries. And in fact, after reading this book, I realized it is indeed a bandage to several injuries in people's life. And I wish I had these bandages before, long time ago. So thank you very much for this great work. And because of time, I know in the future we will still have you to talk about your book, about several injuries you talked about. And I think it will go a long way to help people. Before we even end today's discussion, what are your last words to anybody thinking of or doubting of getting your book?
For those who are in China, they can get the book directly from me from WeChat. I have it in French version and
Yeah.
English version, and I had hard copy. So this is the book, the French version and the English version. For those who are in other countries, they can have it from argentlivre.com. I think I can write it.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description after this live. I will take it from you. I'll put it in the description for them to get it. Yeah. So to our viewers who will be watching pre-recorded, thank you very much for watching to this part. We had our special guest, the author of the book title, Drop That Marks. Let this bandage be let this be the bandage to your injuries. Thank you very much for watching to this end, and stay tuned to this platform, the Only Life podcast based in China, where every time we bring special guests, especially people based in China, to share their life experience with us all. So, yes, I'll say after the discussion, yeah, she has sent it here. If you want to get the book anywhere, you can get it. What are your last words to all our viewers who are doubting of getting your book?
For those who are still doubting, I would tell you that there's always something to discover. And the most beautiful thing you can discover is about yourself. So, getting my book, I'm pretty sure that you will get something, you will get to know yourself more and to love yourself more, because that's the aim. That's the hope I have for you. That's the call I have for you. And that's my wish for you.
Wow. To all our viewers, we wish you to feel more love and to be loved after reading this book. You can check all platforms to get this book, and we have sent a link in the description box. If you want to get this book, you can contact us as well. And anything about reaching the author, you can let us know and we will reach her for you. Before we leave, what are the people you like to acknowledge for helping you in publishing this book?
Of course, my publishing house and my dear Belias Valer and all his team, my parents, especially my mom, because she was my first fan. She bought like
Wow.
5 books at once. My
Okay.
friends also, uh, those who have been in the process and those who have been just even after publishing, and they have been all of great support. So thank you. And thank you
Wow.
also for being here. I'm sending a big thank to Jennifer Williams, who is helping us to have this virtual book too. Without who, I'm pretty sure we won't be here, and maybe we'll not meet you, Dax. So
Yeah.
thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Dax, and thank to everyone who is here with us.
Wow. Thank you very much, our dear author. the author of the book title Drop That Max. In fact, thank you very much for having us and for sharing your life experience and discussing some of the aspects of the book. If you have not gotten the book, you are late. Get it now, and you will be inspired. You will be guided in so many ways in your life. And thank you for staying tuned, ladies and gentlemen. This is where time will permit us to end today's podcast. Tomorrow, we'll be coming with you with another special guest and another author in China, and she will be sharing her life experience with us all. Until we see each other again, see you and bye bye.